Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world as I'm posting this video. This will be labeled as a message for December 6th because I am posting it in time for December 6th, where I am in the world, but where you are, perhaps maybe it's much later in the day. So we're setting the intention that this be a message for you for the next 24 hours, regardless of what time zone you live in, or if you see this video in a few weeks or months or years. I'm asking and setting the intention that it be a message for you for the next 24 hours whenever you happen to see it. Happy birthday to all the December 6th babies out there. And happy birthday to you if it happens to be your birthday on whatever day you may stumble upon this message. Alrighty, my darlings, the card that we have today is the Two of Pentacles. Now, the Two of Pentacles can come up in a few different ways. Sometimes this is a card that comes up when we're throwing ourselves into our work, like we're trying to occupy ourselves, we're trying to keep busy. So there could be something that maybe is emotionally overwhelming, and we're like, well, I don't want to like do something negative, or I don't want to self-medicate. So like you might be throwing yourself into your work a lot. And the Two of Pentacles can also come up to remind us that we might be working very hard and we need to try to incorporate some playfulness. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, kind of thing here. Like bring in something pleasant, bring in a pleasant aspect with it. And the Two of Pentacles can come up when we're way, 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 way too much inside of our head. What do I mean by inside of our head? We may be really stressed out and feeling a lot of anxiety because we're very, very concerned or worried about how people are viewing us in a situation. Typically, it's like, in my experience, it comes up like, say, in a work environment or even in a social circle. You might think, oh, these people are judging me. They think I'm incompetent. They think I shouldn't be here. Oh, they're looking at me funny. Like, what are they thinking? And it becomes really, really difficult to focus on what's happening in the present moment. Whether you're at work and you're trying to focus on your work, or if you're in some kind of social setting and you're trying to be present and interact, it becomes really hard because we're stuck inside of our head with all of these worries, like, oh, what are they thinking about me? Oh my gosh, he just looked at me weird. And we're trying to analyze everything about their uh, uh, gestures, their body language, facial expressions, where it might be a little too much. We might be over analyzing. Yes, it's good to pay attention to social cues, and it's good to pay attention, like how people are responding to us, because those things can definitely guide us in terms of, oh, I don't think this person really likes this topic very much, or whatever it might be, right? But we might be going way too far and like over analyzing every little thing and thinking every little thing means that they don't like us or we're not doing a good job. So remind yourself that wherever you are, you're there because in this moment you're meant to be there in this moment, even if it's not a forever situation, and that you're there because you deserve to be there. And things can change and things can shift, and when you go on, you're going to go on to something better, you're going to graduate to something better. But there could be a need with the Two of Pentacles to get outside of our head and stop worrying so much about how we're being viewed in a situation, or if people think we deserve to be there, because it's not their decision, it's not up to them. This is also, like I said, like a need to kind of have fun or try to have fun. One thing I will say is, and you guys can let me know in the comments how you've been experiencing this or how you've been feeling about this. Uh, I just feel like lately the energy feels really intense. I feel like people people are very intense right now, and there's some really like heavy emotions and things in the air. It also kind of feels to me like that whole thin veil thing, like around the fall, when Halloween starts coming in and the air starts changing, right? There's like this certain vibe in the air in the fall, especially around October, and it's like that thin veil, that that uh it just changes, the energy changes, it shifts, and I just feel that lately. I don't know if any of you have been feeling that. And so maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed by that energy, and maybe you're trying to be productive, and maybe you're trying to push through it. But try to have some fun. Try to do something fun. The work that you are doing, try to make it fun. Try to focus on aspects of it that you actually enjoy. Some of you may be feeling very disheartened because you may have gone into a line of work because you thought that you were going to really, or not that you thought, but it was something you really liked. It was something you were very excited about, right? You may have gone into a field, you may have gone into nursing or the medical field because you're like, I want to help people and it's my passion and I really want to be there, and I feel like I'm doing something important and it's very rewarding. And you may have gone into like nursing or the medical field, or maybe you love cooking and you went into like the culinary arts, or whatever it is, right? You may have just gone into something because you had a passion for it. And now it just might feel like you don't have any desire whatsoever to do it. And sometimes that can happen, okay? And it might be that it's time for you to shift into something else. But in the meantime, until that happens, it's a good idea to try to like remind yourself, why did I start doing this to begin with? What was it about this that I enjoyed? And try to go back to it, right? Kind of like when a relationship gets stale, people who've been together a long time, marriage counselors and therapists always say, try to remember why you fell in love. Sit down and look at your old photos together. And that stuff can help. It can kind of like, activate the memories, right? And get that vibe going. And sometimes we need to do this with ourselves in certain things that we have committed to, right? It might not be a relationship. I feel for some of you, it's something around work. And you have to remind yourself, like, why did you start this to begin with? And try to connect with doing what you're doing in that same spirit, or doing it with that same approach. And you might discover that, hey, you know what, I got my spark back. I'm happy again. I'm glad I went into this work, and you may stick with it. Or it could just be a nice little uh pick me up until you transition into the next thing. So at least in the meantime, it's not unbearable, right? Because yes, there's times that we're manifesting a change and a shift in our life, but that change and that shift isn't always instantaneous. Sometimes we need to go through some kind of process, right? We have to wait for the next thing to open up, or we may need to go learn some new skills, or we may need to study up on something and take some kind of an exam and wait for those exam results to come in so that we can go apply to something else. So there's a transition period. And if we can try to remind ourselves why we started to do this to begin with, and come into it with that old approach, it can be less miserable, maybe even enjoyable, until you transition into the next thing. So these are the messages I'm feeling around the Two of Pentacles for the collective. Um, anything else here? Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Maybe you want to check out your weekly forecasts if you haven't already. There's a link in the description of the video that will take you to the playlist for the weekly forecast, as well as the love readings for December, if you'd like to check those out. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description that will take you to the scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous day ahead, my dears. Take care and be well.